They're ready. Gates back and away they go. Slow beginning there from Roman Tempest in the Unibet Horse Race Betting Operator of the Year Classified Stakes. Over the mile, Closeness from that inside draw got a good start and comes through to just about lead. Also prominent but pulling quite hard is Sirius White. Lake Sand is also reefing and tearing in the early part of this race in the blue and yellow colours. Sheepskin Noseband towards the right as we look at them, Tally's Sun. Then the green, white and red colours of No Diggity. Lord Clenner Castle follows. Twister Line just in advance of that one, the maroon cap. Then in mid-division, Sirius White, Roman Tempest still towards the rear of the field, and right at the back, the red cap of Moving for Gold as they make their way down towards the end of the back straight. And it's Closeness who leads by about a length or so to Lake Sand, who's in second spot, just a length ahead of No Diggity, who's got a nice economical run round the rail. They're then followed in fourth by Tally's Sun, Lord Clenner Castle, Twister Line, the maroon and white sleeves. Then towards the outside, Sirius White. Then on the inside, Roman Tempest, and still at the back of the field is Moving for Gold. They're making the home turn now. 3 furlongs left to go. And it's Closeness who got to the front pretty easily. She leads to in second position, Lake Sand. Then No Diggity, who's looking for a gap to appear as the cutaway comes. Then Twister Line coming down the centre of the track. Lord Clenner Castle is waiting for a gap to appear as well. Then Sirius White and the rest down towards the closing stage as they go. And it's Closeness who's been on the sharp end throughout. She still leads to No Diggity in second. The opening has now come for Lord Clenner Castle. The checks over on the far side. No Diggity and Closeness. Twister Line staying on, and Lord Clenner Castle as well. They're spread across the track as they go towards the final half furlong. Lord Clenner Castle the far side of No Diggity. Closeness trying to battle back, racing up towards the line. No, it opened up very nicely for Lord Clenner Castle, and she gets in just to Closeness in second. Twister Line was third. No Diggity finished in fourth.
Well, Molly Gunn is sporting a broad smile on her face. Were you sure that you'd got it?
I was pretty sure I had it, yeah. Filled me with confidence coming down past the line. So, yeah, I was pretty confident.
Talking me through the race from the start, obviously you were drawn one, kept to the inside rail, that all worked out.
Yeah.
But all the way up the straight, were you thinking that, there was one point I thought you were going to go on and win comfortably?
Yeah, well, as soon as we came up the straight, it was just a case of sitting and waiting for the cutaway to just come in. And once he picked up, I asked him and he went nicely. Just give him one and he was happy and hands and heels the rest of the way.
Yeah, and how's it going for you? Is it a third winner now?
Third winner today, yeah. First for riding for Mark Hode. Yeah, I've been at Tony Carroll's and just started going there.
Well, rides like that will certainly do you a world of confidence, and anyone watching as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All in. Gates back and away they go. Leona was very slowly away. Strike Alliance could have been a bit quicker as well in the Unibet Support Safe Gambling Handicap Division 1. Outrace, whose rider is riding without his cap, is the leader in the early stages. 2 in second position, Insolente in the red cap. Then up the inside we have Ready Reckoner, the yellow cap, followed then in fourth spot by No News in the light blue and yellow colours as they make their way through the first couple of furlongs. Then Strike Alliance, the rather dark grey horse, followed then by Drumbray Boy. Stintino Sunset, the lilac colours, is last but one, and Leona has just about managed to tag on at the rear of the field as they make their way down towards the end of the back straight. And it's Outrace and Tyrace Cameron who leads, to Insolente, the red cap, tracking in second, followed then in third by No News, getting a nice trail into the races. Ready Reckoner, the check jacket, in fourth. Then towards the outside, Drumbray Boy, followed by Strike Alliance, Leona and Stintino Sunsets at the rear of the field. Inside the final half mile they go, and it's Outrace who continues to lead. Insolente just tracking in second. No News now just edges into third. third. They're the Ready Reckoner and Spencer in fourth. They're then followed by Drumbray Boy, the yellow and grey colours, and then Striker Lion, still the owner, towards the rear of the field, and Stintino Sunset has to pass them all. They've swung for home, just over 2.5 furlongs left to go. Outrace yet to see another horse. To No News in second, followed then by Insolente. Ready Reckoner now trying to get going, looking for a gap up the inside rail. Stintino Sunset's trying to stay on as well. Outrace the leader at the moment. To Ready Reckoner, Stintino Sunset, then Insolente, Drumbray Boy down the centre of the track as well. But Outrace continues to lead here. They haven't got past it yet, just drifting towards the centre of the track. But it's Outrace that leads in the closing stages and racing up towards the line. Tyrese Cameron has judged this to a nicety and racing up towards the line has won. Outrace to in second position Striker Lions, then in third was Ready Reckoner. Stintino Sunset finished in fourth.
Well, back with the, I'm hoping, delighted winning jockey Tyrese Cameron. Just talk me through how that went. It looked as if it went as well as you could have wanted it.
Yeah, look, he broke very well. He was in a rhythm. Turning in, I thought I maybe had gone a bit too quick early, but nothing really came to challenge us, so sort of left him to just go as he was and, you know, not under too much pressure.
And before the race, we were talking beforehand, talking about tactics, and you'd want to set the right fractions. I mean, was it easy getting that lead? It looked relatively simple.
Yeah, so looking through the race this morning, I didn't really think there would be much pace on. So it was fairly easy just to get forward for him, get into a rhythm. You know, he travels as soon as he gets to the front, and he's not the quickest horse, but just when he gets to the front, he just sort of has to use himself a little bit. So, but no, he's a very nice horse.
A little bit about yourself, Tyrese. We were talking in the first race about Molly Gunn and who she's associated with. Obviously, you're with the Richard Hannon team. Yeah. How did you get into that position? So I went to the British Racing School for 12 weeks.
I'd done my placement there, and then I got sent to Mr. Hannon's end of November last year. No, 2021. Yeah. And I've loved it since. You know, you learn loads there. You get to ride great horses. You know, you're learning every day.
And I understand that you've also managed to pass your driving test, which a little birdie tells me you can go and see a certain George Baker a little bit more often.
Yeah, George Baker's great. You know, I rang him before the race. He's very positive, you know, very helpful. Goes through very little things that, you know, you might not always go over yourself, but he's very, very helpful.
Well done. It seemed to all work today, and hopefully we look forward to seeing a few more winners. Well done, Terry.
Thank you.
Gates back and away they go, and Man Made of Smoke got a terrific start. Also away well was Rosette in the Unibet Support Safe Gambling Handicap Division 2. So it's Man Made of Smoke, the pink jacket, the grey horse that leads, to Rosette, who sits in second. Then up the inside, Mother India, followed then by Greavesy, the jockey change, Kieran Schumacher aboard now. Then the stripes of Little Roman, who's racing 3 wide as they begin to approach the bend. They're then followed by Opportunity Knox. Towards the rear of the field at the moment in the red colours is Perfect Gentleman. Twin Star is also towards the back, as indeed is Twilight Kiss, as they make their way towards the end of the back straight. This Man Made of Smoke has cut out a 3 or 4 length advantage to Rosette, who sits in second, then Mother India, the black and yellow, in third. Still on the 3 wide train is Little Roman. They're then followed right up the inside by Greavesy, who's mid-division. Then Perfect Gentleman, the outside of Opportunity Knox, then Twilight Kiss, and still at the rear of the field is Twin Star, as they start to make the turn at the top of the track inside the final 4 furlongs. And Man Made of Smoke is continuing to extend the lead, 6 or 7 lengths to the good now as they start to make the swing for home. Being chased in second by Rosette, then Mother India, followed then up the inside in fourth by Greavesy, who's had a nice train trail into it. Then Little Roman, followed by Opportunity Knocks, Perfect Gentleman, Finn Star, and then Twilight Kiss. Down towards the final 2 furlongs they come. Man Made of Smoke not quite as far in front, but still holds a 4-length call. Greavesy now getting going in second. Down the centre of the track, Twilight Kiss is getting into it as well, and Opportunity Knocks, one of the outsiders from the back, as Man Made of Smoke begins to really paddle. And now inside the final furlong, it's Greavesy who's hit the front. Perfect Gentleman stays on well, as indeed does Twilight Kiss. Greavesy over the far side to Twilight Kiss down the centre of the track to Greavesy by a diminishing margin. Here comes Perfect Gentleman, scything through from the back, and Perfect Gentleman, a lovely ride from Daniel Muscat, has won it. Greavesy was second, followed then in third by Twilight Kiss, the 4th horse home, Opportunity Knocks.
Well, first thing we're going to ask Danny is, obviously you jumped off. Everything okay with the horse? Everything okay with the tack?
Yeah, tack malfunction.
Okay.
The bit was through his mouth. So,
well, when did that happen?
I'm not so sure. He was lugging out a bit on the turn, and then I had to snatch around the horse up the straight, so it could have gone either of those stages. But no, they went a good gallop. His stamina kicked in, and he stuck on good.
I wouldn't have noticed the way that you were riding him in the closing stages, because he definitely picked up, and obviously you're always kind of smooth and neat in the finish.
Well, they went fast, and he's bred for sort of mile and a quarter-ish trips anyway, and that's nice to get him off the mark. He's done well physically over the winter, and that's George's first run of the year. So
I was going to say, physically he's quite an imposing sort. I'd imagine this race would bring him on a great deal, both physically and mentally.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Yeah, and hopefully he can progress and have a bit of fun with him for the owners.
Underplaying your skills in the saddle with that?
I didn't know at the time. So
well done, Danny.
They're ready. Off they go, they're racing. Measured time broke very professionally in the Unibet Extra Place offers everyday maiden stakes over the mile. Afternoon tea's gone back. Provocateur was very slowly away. Golden Speech is ploughing a lone furrow towards the centre or far side of the track as they make their way down the long back straight. Bruno the Red has gone on to lead. So it's Bruno the Red who leads, to Wonder Legend, predominantly white jacket, in second. Then to Mango Sands at the inside in third. The short price favourite, the debutante Measured Time, is racing just off the back of the speed there in the white distinguishing cap. They're then followed by My Mate Mike, and then the orange colours of Lunar Light. Kentucky Bourbon, the red cap, towards the rear of the field. Then Provocateurs towards the back as well, and right at the rear of the field is Afternoon Tea. So they make their way round the turn, and zipping through to take it up is Golden Speech, who's come through to lead them now after taking that wider course. To in second position Bruno the Red in the red and white colours, followed then by Wonder Legend. Then in fourth spot now, moving well, is Measured Times, but the inside is to Mango Sands, who's racing in fifth. They're then followed by My Mate Mike, just shunted back through the field a little bit. Then towards the out of the pink jacket of Ben Hamrash, followed by Lunar Light, Kentucky Bourbon, then Afternoon Tea and Provocateurs at the rear of the field. 2.5 furlongs left to go, and this Golden Speech continues to lead. To a driven along Wonder Legend in second. Measured Time is now peeled out for a run and begins to kick in the turbo. Then Bruno the Red, who's given best in fourth. Down towards the final furlong they go, and Measured Times has swept past them. Goes on by length and a little bit now to Golden Speech in second, and then in third spot Wonder Legend, but racing up towards the line here. Measured Time looks like a racehorse and has definitely performed like one on debut. Measured Time the easy winner. To in second position Wonder Legend, who battled back, then Golden Speech was third. Ben Hamrash finished in fourth.
Well, the man who had the pleasure, I'm going to say, of riding measure time first time up at David Probert, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I think, you know, on his pedigree, he deserved to do it the way he's done it tonight. Charlie thinks a lot of him at home. His work's been pleasing. I mean, it was all pretty smooth, really. Nice hit behind the leaders, and took a while to really sort his legs out into the straight, but he's gone through the line really well. I mean, he's dropped down a gear nicely from the furlong and a half and extended really well. And on his pedigree, he'll improve by staying a mile and a half in time. But he showed a good attitude there tonight.
You mentioned that it took him a moment to find his legs, but once you pulled him out, and it took him 2 or 3 strides for you to gather yourself, once you changed your hands on him a couple of times, that response after that, how did that feel to you?
Yeah, it was instant really, Richie. I kind of, when I turned in, I wanted to give him a bit of time just on his pedigree, thinking he'd want a bit further. So I wanted to get through the gears in pretty good time, and he took a while to really switch into it, but he switched his leads well, and he was well balanced, and it was pretty instant then from furlong and a half out.
It looks like he's got a long, loping stride on him as well. Is that how it feels on board?
Yeah, definitely. He's got a long stride on him, and he improved by favour anyway.
Well done.
Thanks very much, Richie. Thank you.
Over a mile once more. Gates back and they're off and racing. Imperial Sands made a really good start via Serendipity, taken back in the early stages of the Unibet 3 Uni Boosts a Day handicap, part of the London Mile Series, and it's Imperial Sands, a course and distance winner from a couple of weeks ago, who's your early leader. To up the inside in second, Naval Commander in the orange and purple colours with a white face. Also prominent towards the outside is Bear Force 1. They're then followed by the sheepskin nose-banded head of Baldemiro. Positive is prominent in the run. Great Guardian has got a position right up the inside rail there in the blue and white colours. They're then followed by Noisy Knight, the yellow cap towards the rear of the field at the moment. Driven along is American Star, and via Serendipities at the back of the field and got to pass them all. They're making the exit from the back straight, and Imperial Sands, having got to the front, has just slowed things down a little bit to Bear Force 1 round the outer, who's racing in second. Then Naval Commander in third. Baldemiro's prominent but 3 wide. Then Positive followed by Great Guardian, Noisy Knight, and then American Star, the light blue colours, and still at the rear of the field, although slightly improving now via Serendipity. Starting to make the turn for home. 3 furlongs left to go, and Imperial Sands, by virtue of a good start, has bossed this race so far to have driven along Bear Force 1 in second. Positive now peeled out for a run. Naval Commander screaming for a gap in behind in fourth. Great Guardian now tries to get going as well, and the cutaway has helped him find a gap down towards the closing stages. Lots of chances here. Over on the far side, Naval Commander. Bear Force 1 is hanging a little bit. Positive now getting going for Kirby down the centre of the track. Inside the final furlong they go. Naval Commander and Positive, these two. Naval Commander just sticking his neck out. Positive is trying to draw alongside. Good battle between the pair. They've gone on from the rest, racing up towards the line. Naval Commander finding more and Axe Positive diving one last time. That's very, very close. Definitely one for Emily Jones, the judge. Then after that, in third spot, we had the orange colours there of Bear Force 1, and the fourth horse home, Great Guardian. And away they go. They are racing a little bit slowly away First Charge, the blue and yellow colours, and also taken back in the early stages Oriental Art. But as they go through the early parts of the Unibet Extra Place offers everyday handicap, it's Stiletto who's come through to lead, to Bassinet up the inside, who often likes to be ridden positively, and Mia Nichols, who takes off the £7 tonight, has taken Bassinet into the lead in the red colours, to Stiletto on the heels of that one in second. Then round the outside in third, Tybalt, followed by the green of Wannabe Brave. Then the white and red colours of Pleasure Garden. Towards the outside, Dance to Paris, and then First Charge up the inner. Gauntlets in the blue and pink colours towards the rear of the field, and Oriental Art is right at the back. So they're making the turn and heading on down the home straight, still with well over a circuit to go. It's Bassinet who leads by about 2.5 lengths to Stiletto, who's racing in second. Tybalt in the black and orange colours is in third. The green of Wannabe Brave, the favourite, lobs along nicely in fourth. Just a little bit more out on a limb down the centre of the track is Dance to Paris. They're then followed by Pleasure Garden, and then First Charge, the yellow cap. Gauntlet, the pink cap, last but one, and still at the rear of the field is Oriental Art. So it's Bassinet with this very light weight on his back who's the leader, and still out in front by about 2.5 lengths to, in second position, Stiletto. They're then followed in third by Tybalt, who's now just drawn alongside Stiletto. Then Wannabe Brave, who's covered up right on the inside rail. Pleasure Garden on that one's outside. Dance to Paris rather wide round this turn. They're then followed by First Charge, who's been held up throughout by Ross Coakley. Also towards the back of the field there at the moment is Gauntlet, and still right at the rear of the field is Oriental Art. So it's Bassinet who continues to lead by a couple of lengths as they make their way past the mile start, to, in second position, Stiletto, the sheepskin noseband. Then Tybalt towards the outside, Wannabe Brave still nestled there on the rail in fourth. Then Pleasure Garden towards the outer in fifth. Now just making a bit of headway. Dance to Paris, the purple cap, has been wide throughout, but still races relatively prominently. Then First Charge, followed then by Gauntlets, and still at the back of the field, Oriental Art, in a race, the order of which hasn't changed a great deal as they go past their point of departure. Bassinet just coming back to the field a little bit. Maybe Mia Nichols trying to hang on to something for the latter stages. To Stiletto, who's been the pursuer throughout. Then Tybalt towards the outside, the black and orange colours. Wannabe Brave is still getting a nice run through this. Daniel Muscat just waiting patiently. Dance to Paris has had a more torrid trip round the outside. In between the pair, the red cap of Pleasure Garden. Then First Charge still towards the rear of the field, along with Gauntlet, and still at the back is Oriental Art. Starting to make the turn. Inside the final 4 furlongs they go, and it's Bassinet and Mia Nichols who lead, to Tybalt racing on the outside in second. Now just driven along in third, Stiletto. Pleasure Garden now makes headway into fourth spot. Wannabe Brave just being shunted back now and just exercising his rider's arms a little bit as they make the swing for home. So it's Bassinet with this very light weight on its back who still leads, to in second position Tybalt. Now Pleasure Garden peeled out for a run in third. Stiletto trying to get going in fourth. They're ganging up on this long time leader who's just hanging towards the centre of the track. Bassinet difficult to steer from the back of the field. Gauntlet is now getting into gear down the centre of the track. Bassinet is trying to battle back. Then Wannabe Brave over on the far side, Oriental Art as well. Then after that, Pleasure Garden inside the closing stages they go, and it's Gauntlet who's kicking on now, leads by 2 or 3 lengths and racing up towards the line. Gauntlet, patiently ridden by Jamie Spencer, is going to go on and score. In the end, First Charge got up for second. Bassinet was third. Wannabe Brave flattered to deceive, but only finished in fourth.
Well, that was an extraordinary performance from Gauntlet. Jamie, what did Connections tell you beforehand?
To be fair to William, he did say the horse had been training well. He'd been mixing and matching it with Sir Busker and just in the mornings, he said, so he said both of them are pretty fit. And, you know, you never know till they run, but he felt good in the race, and as the race progressed, he started travelling strongly, and I kicked early because he seemed to stay 2 miles 2 at Pontefract, so yeah, nice to get him winning.
Yeah, when you turned in the straight and you did kick, I was wondering whether he was picking up as well as you would have wanted, but in the end, you've won very easily.
Yeah, he's won well. Obviously, he had a year and a half off, and the assessor gave him a 4 pounds drop, so which is always a help. A bit more mature now, but it's a good training performance to get him to win today.
Well done.
Thanks, Rishi.
Cheers, Jamie.
Gates crash back, they're off and racing. Renard Doe, having spent ages trying to get into the stalls, was rather slow out of them as well. In the try-hour new price boosts at Unibet Handicap, we're over essentially a mile and a half here. And later Darling, who ran prominently at Lingfield last time, is going to take up similar duties here to Land of Eagles, who races in second. Then Largo Bay in the black and yellow colours, who's in third. That's your leading trio. Then Roscioli in quite similar colours to Land of Eagles, just now moves into third ahead of Largo Bay. They're then followed by Thunder Knight, who's in the, or Royal Thunder I should say, in the green colours. Then after that Renard Doe, followed towards the outside by Sword Beach, and the last two at the moment, the pink colours there of the Thunderer, who was taken back early, and also taken back early the quarter jacket there of Heath Rise, as they make their way down towards the mile pole. Later Darling out in front, leads by a couple of lengths to Land of Eagles, who's racing in second spot. Then Roscioli racing in third, followed then by Largo Bay, who sits in fourth. Royal Thunder is in fifth in the green colours. Then up the inside Renard Doe, the yellow sleeves, followed then by Sword Beach, who's just being snagged back a little bit through the field. Then Heath Rise and the Thunderer, who's still at the back as they make their way down towards the final 3/4 of a mile. And it's later Darling, who hasn't had things too tough out on the lead here, still out in front to the tune of 2 lengths to Land of Eagles, who's been sitting behind there in second. They're then followed in third spot by Largo Bay in the black and yellow colours. Then in fourth spot Roscioli, who's had a nice trail into this, followed then in fifth by Renard Doe, who's got the rail. Then Royal Thunder, who's been that one's travelling companion throughout, followed then by Sword Beach, and Heath Rise and the Thunderer is at the rear of the field now. So they're taking the turn at the top of the track, heading inside the final 4 furlongs, and it's later Darling, who still leads in the hands of Rob Hornby, to Land of Eagles, who's in second, followed then in third up the inside by Largo Bay. Then the fourth spot Roscioli, who's still poised in fourth. Then up the inside Renard Doe, who's had that easy run right round the inner, followed then by the green jacket of Royal Thunder, trying to get a little bit closer now as Heath Rise. Sword Beach is being asked a question or two, and the Thunderer is still at the back of the field. Down towards the final 1/4 of a mile they go, and it's later Darling, who's had a pretty easy lead, trying to find a bit more out in front. Roscioli now down the centre of the track, followed then by Land of Eagles. Getting going late is Renard Doe as well, but it's still later Darling who leads, the one they've all got to get past. Roscioli is trying hard. Land of Eagles is also throwing down a challenge towards the far side, racing deep inside the final half furlong. Later Darling by a diminishing margin, but a decisive one. Later Darling beats Land of Eagles, possibly Renard Doe up for third there. Sword Beach probably in fourth too. No doubt about the winner though, Later Darling.
Well, it's always nice to speak to winning riders after their successes, but particularly so when they've produced a smart bit of skill in winning that race. Are you proud of that ride that you gave that horse, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, he's a horse that you can't really do a lot with in terms of trying to tell him what to do. You've got to try and work together, and he's a bit of a youthful teenager. He likes to get on with it, and it's just a case of trying to just dampen him down, dilute him a little bit. And I was always a bit conscious that he was doing plenty enough on the front end. And Lingfield the last day, he was not unlucky, but just bumped into one on the day, and I think he got caught out a little bit at Lingfield running down the hill, more of a speed track, whereas here the stamina really came into the fore, slightly slower surface. And no, just delighted the owners were we're very pleased, and it's nice to put a smile on their faces.
Yeah, I did notice as you went down the back straight, you probably wanted him to go a stride slower. He was still moving probably that little bit more keen than you ideally want. But I love the way he picked up in the straight, and when you press the button, he put a couple of lengths on them. But were you always confident you were going to hold on?
Yeah, that was the case really today. He changed his leads going down the back and actually gave me half a chance, even though I'd like him to come back a little bit more. But then he's a big horse with probably quite a smart engine, and he stays quite well, so I didn't want to then slow the pace down too much because it'd take a long time for him to get back up into top gear. So it was a case of making sure and seeing if he did fully stay whilst doing plenty, and he has done, and full credit to him, because you know nothing came that close to him, but I felt he would have found a bit again if he had been seriously challenged.
Did that on purpose, did he? Very good ride, well done.
They're ready. Stand by. They're off and racing. Very slowly away, Eltham Palace from the wide draw in the bet at racingtv.com handicap over the mile and a half. Good start from Chelsea Annie into a prominent position. The sheepskin noseband also prominent there is Proud Warrior. Another one that's gone into the vanguard is Big Jimbo. They're then followed by Miss Tiki, who's one of the pace angles on paper. Then Annick Castle, the red, white and black colours there in mid-div. Check jacket of Princess Neve is just skimming the rail. They're then followed on the outside by Le Bayeb. Clooney's towards the rear of the field, storming in. The grey is towards the back at the moment. Also towards the back is Fellowship. Krypton Gold is quite a long way back, and just at the rear of the field at the moment is the slow starting Eltham Palace as they make their way towards the final mile of the contest at what looks a pretty steady gallop. And the lead is with Proud Warrior in second position Chelsea Annie, now just being superseded by Big Jimbo. So Big Jimbo in the second, Chelsea Annie is in third. They're then followed by Miss Tiki, and then up the inside Tin Chu in the maroon and white colours. Then Annick Castle, followed then by Princess Neve. Then Le Bayeb on that one's outside. And then storming in, followed by Clooney up the inner. Getting a little bit closer now is Eltham Palace. Still towards the rear of the field is Krypton Gold, and right at the back is Fellowship in the check sleeve. So they're making their way inside the final 3/4 of a mile. And it's Proud Warrior to Big Jimbo, the yellow jacket towards the outside. Then other yellow colours of Chelsea Annie, the sheepskin noseband races in third. Miss Tiki in the dark blue and red colours. Nice position there in fourth. Up the inside rail, still going okay, is Princess Neve, just in behind Tin Chu. Then on the outside, Annick Castle. Getting a little bit closer now, Le Bayeb. A couple of lengths back to the rest as they make the turn now and head on down towards the final 4 furlongs. Still towards the rear of the field, although getting closer is Eltham Palace, and then Clooney's towards the back. Along then with storming in, still towards the back, Krypton Gold, and right at the back of the field is Fellowship. They're starting to make the swing for home. Just over 3 furlongs left to go, and it's Proud Warrior that leads them. Just being nudged along to try and maintain that position, though. Big Jimbo's travelled strongly throughout. Chelsea Annie's looking for a gap up the rail. Then Miss Tiki, followed then by Tin Chu. Princess Neve now being driven along by Kevin Scott. On that one's outside, Le Bayeb is getting involved too. Sprint on now inside the final furlong and a half. Big Jimbo just about the leader. Miss Tiki's trying to box on. Here comes Princess Neve down the centre of the track, who's really getting onto a strong stride. Tin Chu stays on as well. Big Jimbo to on the near side, Princess Neve in between the pair. Miss Tiki as they race up towards the line. Big Jimbo prominent throughout, always travels strongly and is finding a bit more. Big Jimbo beats Princess Neve. Miss Tiki finished in third. Gap to Tin Chu, who was fourth.